Have you ever noticed how life seems to move in perfect cycles, like a cosmic dance choreographed by an unseen hand? What if I told you that the ancient mystics discovered a profound universal law that explains not just the ebb and flow of ocean tides, but the very rhythm of your existence? Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean at dawn. As waves crash and recede in their endless dance, you're witnessing more than just water in motion. You're observing one of the most fundamental principles of existence, the law of rhythm. This timeless wisdom teaches us that everything in our universe pulses with a sacred heartbeat, from the changing seasons to the rise and fall of civilizations, from our deepest emotions to the breath that sustains us. In this journey together, we'll unlock the hidden wisdom of this universal law that has been whispered through the ages. You'll discover how understanding these natural cycles can transform your perspective on life's challenges, help you navigate emotional waves with grace, and reveal the profound harmony underlying all of existence. More than just philosophical theory, this knowledge will give you practical tools to flow with life's rhythms rather than resist them. Picture yourself standing before an ancient tree, its rings telling stories of drought and abundance, winter's rest and summer's vitality. These concentric circles whisper the first profound truth of the law of rhythm. Everything in existence moves through sacred cycles of creation and dissolution, like breath moving through the cosmos itself. The ancient mystics observed this eternal dance in every facet of reality, from the phases of the moon painting silver stories across night skies to the death and rebirth of stars in distant galaxies. They recognized a fundamental pattern woven into the very fabric of existence. This wasn't mere poetic observation. It was a recognition of a divine blueprint underlying all of creation. Think of how a seed must break apart in darkness before it can reach toward the light, how the phoenix must burn to ash before rising anew. These aren't just metaphors. They're expressions of a universal truth that governs everything from the smallest quantum particles to the largest celestial bodies. The law of rhythm teaches us that every cycle of destruction carries within it the seeds of new creation, just as every moment of triumph contains the humble beginnings of its eventual descent. In our modern world, we see these cycles playing out in economic waves, cultural revolutions, and technological advances. Consider how civilizations rise and fall, how artistic movements surge and recede, how even our digital age pulses with cycles of innovation and consolidation. Each wave builds upon the last, creating a spiral of evolution that moves both in circles and forward through time. But perhaps most fascinating is how these universal cycles manifest in human consciousness. Our thoughts and emotions move like celestial bodies. Joy orbits sorrow, clarity circles confusion, inspiration dances with frustration. By understanding this cosmic choreography, we begin to see our personal experiences as part of a larger, meaningful pattern rather than random chaos. The ancient Vedic tradition spoke of yugas, vast cosmic cycles spanning thousands of years. The Mayans tracked celestial cycles with mathematical precision that still amazes scholars today. The Chinese philosophers observed these rhythms in the interplay of yin and yang. Across cultures and millennia, wisdom traditions recognized that embracing these cycles, rather than resisting them, was key to living in harmony with the universe's deepest nature. Imagine your emotions as a grand pendulum, suspended from the infinite ceiling of existence. Like a cosmic metronome, it swings between joy and sorrow, excitement and peace, creation and rest. This eternal movement isn't a mistake or a sign that something's wrong. It's the very melody of life itself. Think back to a moment of pure elation in your life, perhaps falling in love, achieving a long-sought goal, or experiencing a perfect sunset. Did you notice how that peak of joy eventually gave way to a quieter state? This isn't life denying you permanent happiness. It's the sacred pendulum maintaining the balance that makes our experiences meaningful. Just as a musical note only exists because of the silence between sounds, our moments of joy derive their sweetness from the contrast with other states. The ancient Hermeticists understood this profound truth when they spoke of, "The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left." Like the breath of the universe itself, everything moves in perfectly calibrated oscillations. Your heartbeat follows this law, contraction and expansion, systole and diastole, creating the rhythm that sustains life. The seasons honor it, the markets bow to it, and even our creativity dances to its tempo. Consider how nature embodies this wisdom without resistance. The tide doesn't rage against its retreat, knowing its return is guaranteed by cosmic law. The moon doesn't cling to its fullness, understanding that its waning is essential to its cycle of renewal. The earth doesn't resist winter, recognizing it as a crucial phase of rest before spring's awakening. Yet we humans often fight against these natural oscillations. We grasp desperately at peak experiences, resist necessary downturns, and forget that every valley contains within it the seeds of the next peak. This resistance itself becomes a source of suffering, not because of the natural rhythm, but because of our fight against it. The law of rhythm teaches us a profound truth. These oscillations aren't just inevitable, they're essential. Each swing of the pendulum carries wisdom, growth, and opportunity. The key lies not in trying to stop the pendulum, but in learning to ride its motion with grace and understanding. Think of a skilled surfer reading the ocean's rhythms. They don't fight the waves or demand that only perfect waves appear. Instead, they develop the wisdom to read the patterns, the skill to position themselves appropriately, and the patience to wait for the right moment. This is the art of living in harmony with the law of rhythm. Picture yourself standing in a sacred grove where ancient trees have witnessed countless cycles of seasons. Each leaf that dances in the wind tells a story of letting go, of trusting the greater rhythm that governs all life. This wisdom, the art of acceptance, holds the key to transforming our relationship with life's eternal oscillations. In the depths of spiritual traditions worldwide, we find a golden thread of understanding. Liberation comes not from controlling life's rhythms, but from dancing with them in conscious partnership. The Taoists speak of Wu Wei, the art of non-resistance, where true power emerges from aligning with nature's flow rather than fighting against it. This isn't passive resignation, it's active engagement with the cosmic dance. Consider the bamboo in a storm. While mighty oaks may crack under the force of fierce winds, the bamboo bows deeply, touching the earth in humble acknowledgement of the moment's power. When the wind passes, it rises again, unbroken and even stronger. This is the wisdom of spiritual acceptance, not rigid resistance, but dynamic, conscious participation in life's great rhythm. Deep within the chambers of your own being, you've always known this truth. Every breath you've ever taken has been a silent teacher of this wisdom. Inhale flows naturally into exhale, pleasure transforms inevitably into pain, and darkness cradles the seeds of dawn. When we fight these transitions, we create friction against the very force that seeks to carry us toward our next evolution. The mystics of Kashmir Shaivism beautifully express this understanding through the concept of spanda, the sacred tremor of existence itself. They recognize that even in apparent stillness, life pulses with subtle rhythms. Our task is not to still these rhythms, but to attune ourselves to their divine choreography. Acceptance doesn't mean we become passive observers of life. Rather, it transforms us into skilled surfers of existence, reading the waves of circumstance with refined awareness, knowing when to paddle and when to rest, when to ride the momentum and when to dive beneath the surface. This is the art of spiritual mastery, not controlling the ocean, but becoming one with its movements. As you integrate this understanding, you begin to notice how resistance creates suffering, while acceptance reveals hidden doorways to grace. The very challenges that once appeared as obstacles transform into teachers, showing you exactly where you need to grow, exactly what you need to release. Let's weave this ancient wisdom into the fabric of your daily life, transforming philosophical understanding into lived experience. Like an alchemist's laboratory where cosmic principles meet earthly elements, we'll explore practical ways to dance with life's eternal rhythms. Begin with the breath, your most intimate teacher of rhythm. When you feel caught in life's storms, let your breath become an anchor. Notice how each inhalation naturally rises like the morning sun. Each exhalation settles like evening dusk. This simple practice becomes a gateway to deeper attunement with universal rhythms. Try this. Place one hand on your heart, and for just 3 breaths, feel how your body already knows the perfect rhythm of existence. The ancient practice of mindful observation reveals another layer of practical wisdom. Like a meteorologist studying weather patterns, begin to chart the rhythms of your own experience. Notice how your energy flows in cycles throughout the day. The morning's clarity, the afternoon's dip, the evening's reflective quiet. Instead of fighting these natural oscillations, learn to plan your activities in harmony with them. Schedule creative work when your energy naturally peaks, and restorative activities when it ebbs. Create a ritual of rhythm journaling, a sacred practice of tracking life's patterns. Note the cycles of your creativity, relationships, and personal growth. Like an astronomer mapping celestial movements, you'll begin to recognize the larger patterns governing your journey. This awareness becomes a compass, helping you navigate life's currents with greater grace and understanding. Consider the wisdom of strategic surrender. When you feel yourself moving into a lower cycle, instead of resisting, create a sanctuary for yourself. Like a tree drawing nutrients from winter's rest, use these periods for deep reflection, integration, and renewal. Transform your living space into a temple of rhythm, perhaps with a meditation corner, a creativity altar, or simply a quiet spot where you can attune to life's deeper currents. The ancient practice of walking meditation offers another powerful tool. As you walk, feel how each step participates in Earth's rhythm. Left foot, right foot. You're dancing with gravity, time, and space. This moving meditation helps integrate the law of rhythm into your cellular memory, teaching your body the wisdom that your mind is discovering. Advanced practitioners might explore working with moon cycles, creating ceremonies that honor life's transitions, or developing a personal movement practice that expresses these universal rhythms. Like a master musician who has internalized rhythm so deeply that every movement becomes music, you too can learn to live in such harmonious flow that your very life becomes an expression of cosmic rhythm. As the sun sets on our exploration of the law of rhythm, we find ourselves standing in a sacred space between understanding and embodiment. Like ancient initiates emerging from the mystery temples, we carry within us seeds of wisdom that will continue to unfold in the garden of our experience. Remember, dear seeker, that you are not separate from these cosmic rhythms. You are their living expression. Every heartbeat, every breath, every moment of joy and challenge is part of the grand orchestration of existence. By understanding and flowing with these rhythms, you become not just an observer of life's dance, but a conscious participant in its unfolding mystery. Take a moment now to feel the profound simplicity of this truth pulsing through your being. Notice how even as you read these words, you're participating in the eternal rhythm of learning and integration, of receiving and becoming. If this exploration has touched something deep within you, consider sharing this video with others who might be dancing with similar questions. Like ripples in the cosmic ocean, wisdom grows as it's shared. Subscribe to join our community of conscious explorers as we continue to unveil the sacred laws that govern our existence. Before we part, remember this. The law of rhythm isn't just a philosophical concept, it's your birthright, your nature, your dance. In the comments below, share your own experience with life's rhythms. How do you flow with these eternal cycles? Until our paths cross again in the great spiral of time, keep dancing with the cosmic rhythm that pulses through all things.